is not your typical review video, this is more of a guide. Welcome to the Overlord Flare Zygarde guide. In this video, I will teach you more about how to build Overlord Flare Zygarde so that you can use against your enemies. We will be talking about wish stars, hidden skills, gears, and much more. And remember, if you enjoy these kinds of videos, feel free to leave a like, and if you have any other suggestions of what other Pokemon should I make videos about, feel free, let me know in the comments. To help all kinds of players, we will start with the basics. In order to get Overlord Flare Zygarde, you need the basic Flare Zygarde. This Flare Zygarde will directly evolve into the complete form, so Overlord Flare Zygarde, and you need 200 Overlord Flare Zygarde stickers. You need 200 shards to summon the Flare Zygarde, which is a cost of 1000 firebooks, and to get the Overlord stickers, you also need 200 Overlord stickers, which is 1600 firebooks. If you go and read the Overlord Flare Zygarde skills and passive, etc., you will understand that this Pokemon benefits to stay in a team with the other Overlord Zygarde. So if you want to perform better, you need Overlord Zygarde in your team as well. This Overlord Zygarde can be obtained by Unishards if you want to, or just normal shards of Core Zygarde. In order to evolve the core to the full form, you need Zygarde cells, which you can buy on the VIP store, or you can just wait on the event. If I'm not wrong, it should be a total of 180 core cells. Once the Zygarde is at 100% form, you can make it shiny and you can evolve it to Overlord for 1000 firebooks. And if you are even thinking about recharging anything at all in Pokeland, remember to use Aptoid. Aptoid is just another payment method that they will always give you a 15% bonus on your recharges if you use my code DANNYV1. And if you want to do plans for the future, between March 17 and March 19, they will have an extra 10% bonus on top. So that's a minimum of 25% bonus on your recharges that can go up to 35%. And even better, Aptoid is doing a giveaway of $100 at the end of this month. The details will be in a later video, but obviously the giveaway will be only for the players who recharged using Aptoid. If you want to know more about Aptoid and how to use it, there's a link in the description with a video explaining everything. Thank you Aptoid for the sponsor, and let's go back to the video. Now, the Overlord Zygarde itself has a very special item to help your Flare Zygarde performing even better during the battle, which is the Cell Compound Armor. As you can see, this is a double star Cell Compound Armor, and in battle, all of your Pokemon's damage reduction is increased by 22% in battle. Then it has a second passive, but honestly, the second passive of this held item, it's not the most important. What you really want is the damage reduction. Because here's why. This Pokemon does not have like any solid in-battle speed, so it's supposed to be a tank Pokemon and not something that you wanted to actually attack first in the enemy, because that will be very hard to perform. Related to held item, you either want the Charcoal or a double star leftovers, but the double star leftovers is honestly the most recommended one. I am only mentioning Charcoal in case you don't have the double star leftovers. Let's talk about the third teammate. What I've seen people using a lot is the Resinous Ho-Oh. We have a review of Resinous Ho-Oh on the channel, but basic thing is that he can be played as a support as well, does not die unless it moves, so it's very good. You can also use Cofagrigus because of the Mami passive, which is used to counter black and white Curums. Overlord Giratina for a similar reason, since it moves after Dragon types, so it can possibly interrupt the black and white dance. Stantler, again, for a similar reason. It's mostly to counter just black and white. If they are not protected on the first 2 turns, they will be stunned. Or you can get a Spotlight Pokemon. The 2 most common Spotlights for this kind of team would be Overlord Groudon. In case it moves, it's a little bit less viable that it would move. I would personally probably prefer going for a Crystal Onyx. Does not even need to be Overlord, it's only if you can afford it. Because Crystal Onyx, besides being a Spotlight, it also has a passive that provides defense to your whole team. So of course, in a team that wants to play defensive, you want to play your Pokemon as a big boy tank, the defense that Crystal Onyx provides can help. With the basics and teammates out of the way, let's focus more on the Flare Zygarde itself. So starting with the abilities, we will go and run for these abilities: Rock Armor 3 and Heavy Armor. Because this is a tanky Pokemon, we want a tanky playstyle, so we want everything that helps us getting tankier. Personality, timid or modest, but honestly timid, because it provides us speed. Held item, I already talked about it. It's the leftovers double star if you have it, or if you don't have it, you can use a charcoal. About ribbons, there's like 2 or 3 options that I could consider. One of them would be the master ribbon because it provides us with 16% skill damage reduction. Basically, this is damage reduction. The description is just a little bit Pokeland-ish. You guys already know that the descriptions of the things are not always the best, but we have the master ribbon, which gives us damage reduction, and then we have gorgeous ribbon, which gives us restriction reduction. This is mostly used probably against black and white, so I would try out and see what works best for you. And since I mentioned like third option could be legendary ribbon, increases your defenses, but I'm not much of a fan of defense increase. I prefer the damage reduction. Related to gears, of course, depends on what you can afford. I pointed out to the thunder set, that's not a thunder set. We want the ho-ho set. Okay, ho-ho set would be the best option possible for Flare Zygarde to use. If you cannot use a ho-ho set for some reason, if you cannot afford it, you can always go for a Regigiga set or even an Eternity set. Now, the Eternity set is kind of special. Not many people use, but it provides something that I really enjoy. 50% damage reduction for the first 3 rounds, and also 10% res, by the way. And that 50% damage reduction for the first 3 turns is enough for you to survive, and it's enough for you to get your passives going. Once you get your passives going, you attack your enemy, usually with Endless Circle, to stack even more of your passive, and from that point, you're basically unkillable for most of your enemies. On the held item amplifier, we want res, so water infiltration, that's probably what you want to go for. Crit res basically means that the enemy will deal less crits on you, and we are going to follow the same logic over here. So these are extra abilities that you unlock on level 40 fusion, so when your Pokemon reaches level 40 fusion. I have videos on that, you just have to search on the channel and you'll find them. Now, what I would usually recommend is this. We start with in-battle defenses because the other 2 are not in battle, so they are less good, okay? So in-battle defenses, on the second row, we can go for in-battle defenses or damage reduction. Honestly, that would probably depend on what is the enemy that you are facing. In-battle defenses would probably work better against black and white. Damage reduction would probably work better against sword and shield. You can possibly also go for maximum HP, but that's only and only if you have huge amounts of strike cards invested on HP. I would not advise this otherwise. From my personal experience, damage reduction is amazing, and yeah, the defenses are also good, but more specifically to counter black and white. Then on the third row, we want the res, so we can get crit and res, but honestly, it's a tank. You want to survive. Res all the way. Then we have battle defenses on the number 4, and on the number 5, if any Pokemon gets killed, dispels all the control effects, debuffs, and gets crit and crit damage increased by 50% for 1 round. It's honestly the best option. Burnt Boat is used like on 99% of the Pokemon. Related to Wish Stars, there's at least 3 Wish Stars that increase your tankiness that I would recommend. One of my favorites, Beast Star, because it increases tenacity. Tenacity is crit res, is what we talked about a while ago. So it means that the enemies will crit less on you, and this can be stacked. So all of your team, like the other Overlord Zygarde and your third member, can also have Beast Star, so you can stack this. You can also have Illusion Star, reducing your own restriction damage taken by 25%, which is very nice. Last but not least, Fossil Star, which increases your in-battle max HP. The other Wish Stars, honestly, you can go for stuff like Crystal Star or any other Wish Star that will give you more damage. And if you don't have any of those fancy Wish Stars, honestly, I consider those 3 defensives the most important ones. You can run, for example, Counter Wish Star, which increases your crit rate once you go below 15% HP. And also together with that, we run the Extreme Wish Star, which is amazing. And if you have a Strike Wish Star as well, each crit recovers a percentage of your HP, is also nice. Vajra Wish Star can also be very good for the early game because maybe your Pokemon lasts more than 5 rounds alive, so maybe this Wish Star can actually be very good. And of course, Wish Stars will always depend on whatever you have. So what I'm recommending right now, you might not have. Speedy Wish Star can be another thing that you can put. Now, Speedy Wish Star, the orange one, you can only get on an event. So if you ever get a Speedy Wish Star, like from normal drops, it needs to be a blue one, like this. So in the first 2 rounds, 10% speed, which is not bad at all, already 10% speed. Or even a Wish Star Ground if you have, because it decreases your own ground type skill willpower. About Starstones, this is a harder topic. This is an extreme late game item, and honestly, once you get to this point that you are already dealing with Starstones, you can probably already understand that the best would be probably something with res, or even something with quick attack that gives you a chance to move again after you land a crit. Honestly, Starstones, it really depends on a lot of things. Dude, I just noticed a Dynamax Picos. This is awesome. I believe we are done with the full guide. If you have any other suggestions of other Pokemons that I could make a guide on, please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next video.
Press start.